Loading. Hey everybody, and welcome back to this very, very, very late Twitch recap of Kerbal Space Program RP-0. We are finally at our Venus window, which means we can get to work proper on throwing things at Venus. And to start us off, we have this RA9 topped off with our Solar Sailor. This is an unofficial name. Yeah, we don't have an official name yet. That's where you come in. If you could very kindly put some suggestions in the comments, I promise this time I will not forget what they are, or to name it improper. There's our Korolev Cross as we jettison our boosters and rely just on our core engine to get us most of the way to orbit. Turns out that the upper stage that we have here below our payload proper was entirely unnecessary. We could have done this just on the HV upper stage of this RA9 Block E, which we are igniting right now. To finish out circularization, it's going to handle about 90% of our ejection burn also on the back of those four RL10A4s. I think they're the -1 variant, but I could be very wrong. They might be -2s. I think they're actually combined to a -1.5 because it's our -half because it's 1/2. Anyway, this mission intends to fly by Venus, use it as a gravity assist to lower its perihelion to get closer to the sun. It will then make a subsequent secondary flyby of Venus after correcting probably at Venus with a little bit of a burn from whatever is left in our upper stage that it can do without capturing proper to lower its perihelion and get us as close to the sun as we can so that we can try to see if there is, in fact, a low space sun biome. I guess there was some doubt on whether or not even space close to the sun exists in this version of Realism Overhaul and RP-0, but that's what we're here to find out. That's why we launch these things on super cheap rockets like the RA9, because, you know, hey, why not? Now, we did need to make a few bits of correction here and there, but we've got 10 ignitions on this single RL10A4, so we'll just give it a couple little nudges here and there to make sure that we can get our flyby of Venus, and then try to touch it up a little bit to adjust our ejection so that we're really not too skewed, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I'd like to keep our relative inclination with Venus relatively on par, because of course we're going to need at least one more flyby to lower our perihelion even closer, although after that secondary flyby, we may just go all engines, because we have an immense amount of burn time on our single ion engine on the payload itself. And I guess I had intended on making many passes, just doing quick little burst fires, or not even burst fires, but sustained 10 or 15 minute burns here and there, just to get us closer and closer over many orbits, which I promise is not going to be tedious as all hell, at least not for all of you, but maybe for me. So now that we're coming in on the correct side of Venus, we can plot out a couple of future nodes, but we'll leave that to the future. In the meantime, it is time to finally, after about a decade and a half of waiting, send a crew to our ostrich station, which is currently in a mixed Venusian orbit. Venusian? Something like that. We have a station to crew. Finally. It's been ready for a crew since last window, when we were finally able to get our resupply pods out to it, and now we're just waiting for our launch window. I thought we'd use the spent upper stage of our Solar Sailor package as a guide, but doesn't work out too well. It doesn't pass within more than 4 or 5 degrees of Cape Canaveral, so we'll just go back to using the moon as our guide stone, which the flaws of this are now very apparent to me, because our transfers are in the, you know, a couple hundred more meters per second than I would have liked them to be, but we are well within the threshold of what this incredible launch vehicle, the BPR, is capable of achieving, just as long as I don't screw up the launch profile too incredibly badly. Anyway, so without further ado, I will turn you over to Old Me live during the broadcast. Alright, throttle is set to full. Let's just check our hydrolock stage here. Topped off ready, topped off and ready. SAS is armed. Crew, fasten your seatbelts and turn your trays to their upright and locked positions. Ignition sequence start. Ignition looks good. Clamps off. A little bit of teetering, but holy hell. It's a whole lot of RD-170s doing a whole lot of work. Yeah, that's a booster SEP, I'm assuming. Also a booster SEP. And a booster SEP. And that, yeah, is escape tower jettison. Here we go. Thanks, Lucy. It is one of my favorites. Just because, holy hell, impractical as all get out. Throws a building at Mars or Venus. KST won't let you edit vessels mid-production without resetting them. Oh, that's interesting. No. Oh, by resetting, do you mean it? Well, no, because they're already in the production queue. Whenever I edit a vessel, it dumps it to the bottom of the production queue. Just because it's a clusterfuck doesn't mean it won't fly. True. Planes with untooled parts get massive time penalty even when you don't change anything. That's interesting. Why just planes? Alright, 2 kilometers up. I wish it wasn't nighttime. Asparagus without fuel lines. I mean, could be seen as inefficient. Nope. You reach the bottom of the list, it will start to zoom out, whether you want it to or not. Yeah, we're probably going to have to stage off that first set relatively soon. Also, let's just go ahead and lean into this. Oh, the moon is our target, not Venus. That's why everything is just too, it's an unintended behavior for planes. Sets it back to 250 days. Oh, jeez. Wow. Human person, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Big rocket is by G. Yes. Mach 1, 10 kilometers in climbing. Everything seems pretty nominal. Don't want to jinx it, but we do do need to start leaning into this gravity turn with some kind of authority. I would like to dump the boosters into the ocean and not on the shoreline. I mean, it's just kerosene. It's not like it's going to kill anybody. Big rocket won't generate entities. Big rocket is love. We're not even going to worry about our relative inclination. Just because it's all a crapshoot anyway. I forgot to activate my radiators. We have time to do this between garbage collections. Was this on an action group? Yeah. Perseus radiators. Why is it Perse? Oh, because we took the action groups from Perseus. Bush Wookie Sniper, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. 400+ ton LKO rocket in stock. Nice. Alright, coming up on our first booster SEP event. Oh, frame rate. You're so silly. Tone to change or some of the lighting. There we go. Stage. Please get clear, you heavy bastards. Down and away. Awesome. First set of boosters is clear. Well, there's at least 100 frames per minute. If we are being generous, it might be 100 frames per minute. Alright, let's start to lean in with a little bit more authority now that we're a little lighter. A lot lighter. Already up to 1 kilometer per second, not bad. Yeah, none downranges, but very high air, much altitude, not much go fast. We really need some more go fast because we're going to hit our ideal altitude here pretty soon. I would like to not overshoot it by a huge margin. Oh yeah, but we're totally gonna. Dang it. Big rocket consume go fast juice. at prodigious rates. 60 kilometers at apogee, 103 in climbing, and yeah, we're gonna, I don't know, we might as well just aim for a 300 kilometer orbit. Did we flame out a set of boosters? We did. Stage. God, how much extra long did we carry those? I didn't have. I thought I had that scrolled down. I did not. Oh, shit. Oh no, we do need to build extra altitude because that RS-25 stage only has a 0.75 TWR and has to run for 5 freaking minutes. Well, we'll be lucky if we have time for the transfer burn tonight, everyone. Eek. We still need to be angled in a bunch more than what we are, so that's a thing. How many tons per second was it drinking at liftoff? Oh, that's an interesting question. Yes, the appropriate answer, as Wednesday has pointed out, is all of them. And how much water was dumped onto the pad to deluge the shock and vibration? Or does the pad just need to be completely reconstructed after every ignition of this thing? Is our next stage a booster SEP event? Yes, yes it is. We are probably in a... No, we are definitely not in abort to orbit territory. We're definitely still in launch escape system territory. By a very, very, very fair margin. And pro tip, use the ocean as your pad. That's why we have to launch from the coastlines, because we have to wait for it to be high tide to completely swamp the launch pad so that we don't crack the earth in half when we light all these engines. Alright, coming up on our last booster SEP. And quite technically, we're not even going to space today yet. Must be a pain waiting for the tides to sync with the launch windows. Yeah, like... It's kind of like what they do for a canal, with like the locks. You just wait for the tide to roll in, and then you close the lock gates, and just hold the water there, because you need so much of it. But like, from here to here, it's just locked behind a tidal wall. Coming up on our final booster SEP of the evening. There they go, clearing away. Alright, we're going to go ahead and jettison the LES. God, that thing makes so much fire. Clear it away. Crew is in immense danger right now. But you know, here we go. Alright, let's start trying to build that time to apogee just by holding our above prograde for a good long while, but you know, 1.42 TWR. Which is in pretty good shape, I'd say. Perhaps. Probably. I think this is also the first time Bush Wookiee Sniper and Wookiee Goldberg have been in the chat at the same time. Do you two know each other? It seems nominal. Let's hope it stays that way. We still need to angle up more. So we're still walking down our time to apogee. We only got 2 minutes of runtime left, and I would like to see about at least 2 minutes 30 seconds on the timer for that RS-25 stage before we separate, and I don't know if we're going to get there or not. I'm hoping. Start. Nominal. Did I misread it? I did misread it. My eyes. I'm getting old and it's hard to read things now. My apologies, Wednesday. It does say nominal. Nominal! Come on, start pushing that apogee counter up. I don't want to deviate too much more because it's inefficient as hell. Although we're going to have to. Counting up yet? Yes, yes we are. Alright, cool. Alright, Scorpio, thank you for coming out. Much appreciated, always good to see you. Come on. What did I want? 2 minutes 30? I don't know if we're gonna get there. Probably just going to have to take the hit on the RS-25 stage. Should be pretty close to 5.5 when we clear this stage. So that puts us at about 7.5 at the end of the RS-25, so maybe we won't need much more than just a nudge from our Echo upper stage. And that should get us clear. Alright, by clear I mean in actual orbit. Pulsey, how's it going? Hello. Alright, 30 seconds to boosters. Yeah, we are dispatching a crew to Venus, or our Venus orbital station. It is 1994, almost 1995. Wow, eek. Alright. Well, we're gonna be a little more than 45-50 seconds shy of our goal for our RS-25 burn, but I'll be alright with it. We'll just make it work. Stage. Oh, wrong stage. Stage. Ignition. That's a real... Oh, because we sat on the pad for a day, perhaps. Maybe that's it? Yeah, Wookie got it. Less space debris. These panels should have been separated off after LES, so we actually just carried an extra ton or two for no good reason whatsoever. So, you know, that's a thing. And now we'll just go ahead and get angled in. If you could just stay angled in, that'd be fantastic. Please and thank you. And if we start skating back to Earth, then, well, we start skating back to Earth. We'll give it an extra 5 degrees. How about that? How about 5 degrees? Is that going to be enough? Come on now. Just stay cool, my dude. You'll be fine. Everything's cool. Everything is cool. Who's the skater boy? Did he say, "See you later, boy"? He wasn't good enough for her? That's embarrassing that I know that. I agree, Wednesday. 90s? Hell yeah. Don't you come chumbawambaing in here, human person. Lucy, also, yes. Cannot wait. An alcohol drink. Make it 2, please. Well, I was gonna say, I think we're dropping our time to average at slower than real time, but real time is actually real daggone slow right now. But yeah, I think we are actually writing it out relatively slowly, so we're gonna just go ahead and taper this back in a bit. Yeah, 2 minutes 6 seconds and 1:15, so let's go ahead and get about 3 degrees above prograde. Must be 100 frames per minute now. I might be still yellow clocked all to hell. What do you think of in-orbit refueling like Starship missions would do? Not opposed to it. Hate the logistics of it. Stock rocket structural issues. Break apart at max Q. Eek. I mean, I think really the only solution is make your... I don't know, you need to be at a higher altitude. Oh, sorry, I just had a complete brain fart, but there should be a way to strengthen up the joints there to where it's not having that kind of an issue. Oh, poor baby. She's mad. Structural failure and linkage between 5mm parts. Node attached. Auto strut question mark? Say that. You don't fly these interplanetary missions that often, so it's not like you're doing all this planning all the time. True. I do not do this very often at all, thank God. But I think part of the reason I'm not doing it very often is because it's still a headache even when you don't refuel in orbit before you go. All the struts. Say, man, if you're within like 5 degrees of your prograde vector, there's no reason why it should be shattering unless you got a really high drag coefficient from something sticking off the side. I think. God, how much delta V do we have to burn from our Echo upper stage? That's going to be a problem. I'd really like to be almost there when these RS-25s flame out, but I'm not sure it's going to be a thing with only 300 meters per second left in those tanks. Eek. Come on, baby. Get to orbit. Yeah, so you might just have to taper down that TWR. So I guess your max Q is going to be really low in the atmosphere because you're really going like a rocket. Ugh. Terrible phrase. Only terrible in its literal sense. get there. Dang it. Stage, ignition. RCS to arm. And let's just walk through these couple meters per second and get ourselves to orbit. Transfer stage solar. Oh, come on, be orbital. 2, 3, 4, shutting down. Excellent. 255 by 147. We got 2 radiators to prime. Now, due to very unfortunate circumstance, I was not able to do the ejection burn on this broadcast, and due to yet another unfortunate circumstance, I was not able to record the ejection burn when I did do it off stream. But the crew is safely on their way to Venus without a single engine failure or really anything of note, just a lot of staring at engine plumes. So that's where we're going to leave this episode, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.